I think I said I was going to zigzag over to this lead seal here and be happy with what I do, but we're going to do Prestige 1, and hopefully this won't take me more than 2 videos to do one settlement. Maybe 3, but it really depends. Oh my goodness, coughing immediately. Also, timestamps do exist, in case you want to skip forward, because I need to make sure of what I'm doing. I mean, I should really just review what I did earlier, but for lack of an explanation and to not hold too much time, I think we're just gonna go immediately. So we are gonna do Prestige on. We didn't unlock any other prestiges because we were, for this series on this channel, I was only doing Viceroy up until this moment. But now we do other stuff. So I think yeah, I think I'll take primarily beavers, and then we'll see what they give us. I should actually take... Well, no, I want more people. I usually want more people. It's hard for me to really justify not taking more people, because the slot that they fill is usually better. Now, there are times which I've taken, especially when newcomers come, I've taken the one with bigger number, and I've suffered for it. The most simple examples, before I get into the forest mysteries, is when hostility is about to reach another level, either right before a storm or during a storm, and that would not be great. So, all this is telling us is that, yeah, we need 4 more reputation points, and then orders are harder. Otherwise, complex food for speed. I was going to say another term. I think there's another more accurate term to say. Housing. Assist burning takes longer. Don't use woodcutters if possible. And, yeah, services or die. This is... Eerie Song is the one that haunts me from the bronze seal, because that's been the main source of my pain. But we're not going to use the Forbidden Altar. I pretty much don't use it even up till Prestige 7. I made a mistake last time. Prestige 7, I was doing Prestige 7 because I was dealing with extra food consumption. But here we're doing Prestige 1, so hopefully it's not as bad. Depending on what happens here, I really just want to build into oil. I think like a good 4 out of 5 settlements all used oil at some point. 2 of them in the beginning, and the other 2 in the middle or late part after year 4 or something. But skewers with lizards isn't bad. I just happen to become a lot of... I for some reason I really prefer making skewers over anything else. If someone like the lizard, if a race like the lizards exists in the settlement. But overall, the cookhouse is not bad either, I think, just for its general, use for a lot of races. But still, though, I have to reconsider. I keep thinking I have bats. I don't have bats. Alpha 2 is going away, by the way, in about a couple of days. Well, probably maybe a week, but really I'm just going to wait till the month of April, and then that's it. Is this are these 5 vegetable patches, by the way? I didn't even take a look, but... Then we have a lot of bricks, essentially. Or anything, or pottery, if I decide to do that. Copper ore and roots on the side. Might as well just go through the pre-pause prep here. By disabling... I'm just going to disable everything. I'll re-enable a food once I decide. Probably going to be vegetables here. Do I get any... So, no fish. And there are eggs. Everything but fish, it seems like. And then plant fiber, resin, and eggs from trees, which is usually going to be reliable in the Royal Woodlands. I failed to think of a time aside from a very weird modifier where I have not usually relied on trees. And then we'll take a quick look around. Yeah, probably not going to hit that Forbidden Glade. Like, maybe I could. But instead, if possible, probably over here, depending on how... all surrounded by small glades, by the way, except for this one dangerous glade. And then this is just a big buffer of trees. I don't really like a big buffer of trees in between me and where I may want to cut. But I guess that also depends if you're going on until infinity for the entire settlement. But that's a different issue entirely. So, with that said, if I wanted to be safe, I really should just take the herb garden now, knowing what I do. I also realize that the human passive is quite important. But let's just take one. Probably not going to be this. Coats for beavers, but aside from the oil, I don't have the synergy yet. I can't rely on getting the synergy. That being said, let me take another look. Oh, we can start making coats, but we really, really need to make sure, preferably some kind of fertile soil with Well, really the plantation, because I'm looking at the plant fiber and the resin from the trees. It's a byproduct, but it will give you a temporary boost of usually resolve. For if I'm thinking to myself, again, I'm thinking out loud to myself, so I'm not stating all of this as fact. But I need to make a call. Oh, I don't have to make a call. You don't know. You don't have to pick a blueprint right now because you're probably still setting up anyway. But I think I will. That being said, let me just remind myself what I'm doing here. So, we have 2 lizards. Should probably set up a lizard house if possible with the plant fiber I'll get from these trees. And yeah, we're just going to immediately put maybe even 3 woodcutter camps. Woodcutters camp. No, just 2 for now. Yeah, 2, and we'll start from around here. I probably will open this dangerous glade. We'll take a gander over towards the, well, my east side. But until then, let's see here. Yeah, because I want to map out what I'm going to do now. Keeping in mind that we want services at some point, so it would be important because you can't always rely on getting like oil synergy, wheat flour synergy, so on and so forth. Alternatively, I'm cracking my knuckles. Alternatively, I'm thinking food is the immediate concern here, but let me take a quick look at what these roots can do for me. I think it's primarily for food. No one here uses tea. If we get a race that uses tea, well, we'll see what our third race is. But yeah, Eerie Song is really spooking me out. So, away we go. I think we'll just pick Cookhouse just to be safe for now. 2-star, but I don't know. Clan Hall, probably should just pick up Clan Hall. If we get frogs, that would be a little nice. I think frogs are also... Let me just check really quickly. I might as well. So, yeah. Brawling. So, if they come. But either way, I know I have lizards, so let's pick the Clan Hall up. And then the guild house, I guess, but something for wine. Again, reminding myself I'm not on Alpha 2, so I need the gilding. I need the building anyway. I need the guild house building anyway to make use of any service items I make. That being said, you can use either or, so if I pick the guild house, what I'm thinking is I can branch to wine or to scrolls. And as much as I want to take something for planks, I think during the sealed map, I don't know, I don't remember, but I think I was locked out of service buildings, which ended up being my demise. So, yes, I am playing kind of biased towards my own demise. So, excuse me if I'm getting a little spooked here and there. But you normally shouldn't be, especially on a low prestige like this. But so I mean, that's not to say that anyone playing on an easier difficulty is, having that much easier of a time. If you're playing through the game, you're playing through the game. That being said, yeah, I do want to set up a lizard house, so we'll focus lizard house, but keeping in the back of our mind that we do want to do something with all this food at some point, which will be the cookhouse will be the secondary objective. So we'll enable vegetables here, and probably should just set up. Oh no, I don't have wood. Why don't I have wood? Did I not take wood? Well, hey. Things. Okay, so we'll do this then. So we'll set up the stone cutters camp. Set it up this way. Prioritize the stones in a particular order so I have more space. And yeah, the lizards will be in charge of that. I could set up a third woodcutters camp, but instead... I think I'll just start grabbing this food now. That way we can get it out of the way. Might even set up a thing here. There's an easier way to cycle through, but I'm not thinking of it at the moment. Otherwise, humans would be nice if and when we ever get the fertile soil. But as we move on here, yeah, not really much else to do at the moment. The stuttering, but... Anywho, again, for those who don't know, the reason why I usually end up stuttering or mumbling a lot is because I'm thinking of something and then I'm already saying something out loud. And so it would be better to slow down, but yeah, that's all I really have to say. So again, nothing much happening. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, hopefully. Oh, we don't have wood at the moment. That's why we can't work on this. But either way, the food or the stones will be, or the clay here will be great. And by the time I get anything else started, well, probably not flame amulets. I should really have looked closer at what I saw there, but flame amulets, among a quick skim, I picked it up. The other meat specialization wasn't bad if we somehow run into meat, but that's hoping for a lot. I think that's RNG. And then the third one, I didn't really get a good look. But flame amulets is really hard to not justify taking. I don't know why I'm doing that now. So we're just gonna sit here because we need a good amount of stones and or clay anyway before we even do anything really again. So again, I could be micromanaging more, but after that long pause preparation, I figure we might as well just sit here and get stuff done. That being said, we do want to set up things. This is going to take pretty much the whole season, so I don't really mind leaving things on fast forward for a moment. But after about 12 clay, we'll deactivate this and then have them work on these shelters. We'll slow down as we enter the clearance season, but really, by now I've kind of learned the timing to some of these things, so not everything. I'm not going to say I'm that confident, but I know what I can and can't do with the time I'm given. Shelter is by far the most important thing, though, because without shelter, we're going to have a bad time. That being said, we'll probably have to, unless the impatience drops us down a hostility level, we would have had to disable another woodcutter, but it's fine for the moment. Now, we do need this other house built. And normally you should have other things being built. In fact, I could probably be disabling things. I could be saving on consumption here, but I would have done that earlier, I guess, is what I'm worried about. Now, the downside to taking a higher number is that you need enough food. You're not always guaranteed 5 patches of vegetables. Sometimes there's only 2. So feeding for the first year isn't a problem, but it's the next year that becomes a lot more problematic. At least from my experience so far. With about, 30 to 50 settlements under my belt. I don't even remember. No point building a trading post at the moment. It's not really much to trade. I did want to make this lizard house, but I don't think we even have the... Do we have the things to do? We have algae. So you know what? We'll do 2 fabric and just make as many bricks as possible. So we don't need the roads. We'll just have them both start making stuff after they take a break. And yeah, this cookhouse is the next part because this will save us. This essentially gives us more food. That's all I really have to say. So so right after that, we'll toss these to the back. Kind of get started, or get these glades prepped to be opened if need be. But I'll probably open the one next to the hearth first, because that one, though just as equally far from the warehouse, I mean, I like the hearth space. Opening glades that are directly interfering with hearth space, I mean, this one too, technically. But there are 2 small glades here, and I'm planning to eventually hit this forbidden glade, theoretically. We'll see, though. We have to adjust for things that happen. Again, I usually take orders halfway through the storm, but you don't always have to do it that way. And yes, that strat did come from a information and guides that I've read online, so... But again, from learning, we learn to do other things, so hey. Did we? Oh, we haven't. What? Well, no, we have. Oh, I didn't enable algae because I didn't enable algae. Well, hey. So I guess we'll do this. So we'll do a twofer here. This takes precedence, please, lizard. Or did we not? Oh, we have to make the cloth. Or no, they didn't force the delivery. So hey. So what I'm actually going to do is disable both of these. We'll have this lizard work on the roads, but we really should be getting this lizard house built. If for no other reason than if we didn't have flame amulets, then building the lizard house would allow us to keep both woodcutters' camps through the storm. I'm pretty sure. If that's not right, well, someone let me know. So fuel consumption decreased. Yeah, it's not like we need the lizard stuff anyway. If we had made this lizard house, we could have hit blue resolve for like, you know, 0.1 resolve or reputation, but meh. So with that said, so right after this, when this lizard, well, takes a break first, yeah, they're gonna deliver the stuff, and they deliver the 4 bricks, 2 fabric, and we will be on our merry little way. Otherwise, in the meanwhile, let's have you guys start working on this, if possible. Oops, didn't want to do that. I forgot to hold control. In fact, I'll even do this. So 4 bricks, 2 fabric, and then start building this lizard house. At this point, I should be making the trading post too, but and the makeshift post, but the housing comes first. And through the storm we go. Not really much else to do at the moment, I don't think. We could open up more trees here, but I think I'll just have these... Actually, no, yeah, we want to do this. Hopefully that doesn't... Yeah, that shouldn't open up any glades. And that should be enough trees and time, because our storm duration is still short, because we're not on Prestige 2, I believe? Yeah, Prestige 2 is longer storm. Prestige 3, if I remember off the top of my head, is... 6, usually 6, I think always 6 blight rods. You get cysts during your every 3rd year, which means a blight post is pretty much almost always mandatory, unless you don't mind 3 villagers being poofed. But yeah, it's a different problem. Also, we have a bunch of wood. I should just start making planks. I was gonna say a certain phrase, but I don't think that's it would be entirely accurate. So. We'll put this behind here for the moment. We don't have anywhere else to really put it. And let's accept these orders now. So, 1 ancient tablet, 20 resolve. I do want the parts. The wildfire essence is much appreciated, but I usually don't have good luck grabbing. I mean, if they give you an ancient tablet thing, that must mean there's one somewhere. But that doesn't always mean it's close, in my experience. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Clay production, that assumes I'm going to be able to... Let's see, do camps count as salvaging a ruins? I feel like it would, right? Anywho. Keeping in mind that I have yet to do a thing, by the way. I can make jerky, I believe. Can I? No. And we don't have the field kitchen. I forgot I haven't unlocked that yet. So I guess we will pick the 5 glades. That's gonna hurt, but that's why we took flame amulets. So essentially, flame amulets with these 2 woodcutters camps is going to be mitigating. Let me do some quick math to make sure. So yeah, 72, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, a nearly just under the number of hostility. If I open 5 glades, one of them is probably gonna be dangerous though. But you get the point. So I think I'm going to play it safe. Sometimes I've been opening danger. I think in the earlier settlements, you definitely saw me open some glades. I'm not going to open any glades yet because I've learned my lesson after being unlucky, in which I opened a glade. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, I opened a glade and I forgot which one. If it wasn't just rich glades, I know one of them is this. You know, opening a glade during the storm gives you tools, but that's kind of... You can't get a cornerstone until Drizzle, and then... So therefore, opening a glade in Drizzle season with that cornerstone doesn't net you any tools, but... Meh. So now we're in Drizzle. I'm probably going to pick Protected Trade. If I... Wait, what do I have again? Nothing? Cookhouse? What did I take? Oh, the 2 buildings, that's right. So Guildhouse implies that I'm going to be selling things, so... I should take Protected Trade here. And that will help avoid, especially if I get this settlement done year 8 or earlier, help us avoid Eerie Song. Along with the Flame Amulets, of course, always helping, or giving us the immediate help. 3 parts, and then we have a Fox. Brawling, right? No. Oh. Well. I guess we're really going... So now we rush, because if we start getting... Well, even if we don't get a lot of foxes, having villagers perish I don't feel would be very intuitive. But for the moment, let's open up this glade. We'll open up this one as well, and let's see what lies beyond doors number 1 and 4. We might open this one, but we're definitely going to open this one too if there's nothing I can really use. There usually is something, but really we're looking for at least 1 or 2 food nodes, and then right after that, we'll react to what we get. That being said, we have a bunch of people not doing anything, so... Did we have the clay thing? Don't we have to do... Yeah, we have to cut through 3 glades. Hopefully one has a ruin, I guess. I guess we'll see. So that's going to push us to hostility 2. Which will interfere with us getting 20 resolve, unless we get some kind of complex food during the trader visit. But I don't think that's going to happen either. So, yeah. I can rush building materials, but it's going to be a bit late now because the trader is going to arrive beforehand. I should probably still just start making planks though, at the bare minimum. And depending on what these glades have, I'll sit on this clay node, these clay nodes. Otherwise, yeah, not really much else happening at the moment. But I think we do. So 2 of these builders need to become other gatherers. That's a treasure stag. Did I take a thing? No, because I didn't think that was going to happen. What we would have had was the herb garden. We do not. But it's not exactly a food. No, yeah. Well, this fertile soil could have been food, but it's not. So, are you going to go anywhere? Please let it be this one. Okay, well, we can go for this one. Guess we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump in and see. This tree is actually in the way, but we're gonna open this glade too. So we're just gonna open a bunch of glades. I'm going to treat another one. No, we can't follow this one. It's not gonna be possible. We'll follow this one though. We'll take the risk and do it, but yeah, not much else is gonna happen. So we'll throw this over the trader over here. And then everyone dogpile on these trees, essentially. In fact, I shouldn't even be cutting these trees. I should be cutting these 3. And yeah, this is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's too much. So hopefully we cut this down before Sahilda leaves. That way we can react with what we may or may not need. Please come and cut these trees, though. I really need to... Oh, they were transporting. Well, hey. And yeah, well, we might be sacrificing parts. We did get parts from goods from the thingy, but we'll accept the stag first. I usually release... I've learned my lesson from Catch. I got something very bad, basically. 25 amber, which will help me buy stuff, but... +1 global resolve. I pressed escape thinking I was going to go away. And building materials. So, unless I'm going to trade off eggs here, but I would like the reputation instead. So, the question becomes, what can I use? Well, we can buy the small farm. I think I'm going to do that, but let's make sure we know what we're doing here. Yeah, Rage of the Forest is going to slam me, but I don't think I can make these building materials in time. So we're going to end up using the eggs. Let me just make sure of something, because I always forget. I know insects and meat are the left side. Yeah, this side is the right side, but we have enough of these, especially with 5 vegetable nodes, so I don't mind spending the eggs for this ancient shrine event. Now the question is, will I lose all my resolve? No. So let's buy this so we can actually make use of this fertile soil, and then we toss Sahilda over here. We do have a lot of fertile soil, basically. But we don't have Herbalist Camp, so we can't make use of the 2 berries. We can make use of the Stonecutter's Camp over here, but that's going to have to wait. And we don't have humans, so what we have is what we get. Probably just going to cut into the small farm here. We lose 1, but it's not like we'll be able to plant everything. Not with how far these farms are compared to everything else. In fact, I might not even be able to do more than 8 plots. 8 is the number I've just been accustomed with, but... My next question. So, yeah, you're taking a break, so we'll use you for this farm. It's the, well, for all intents and purposes, closest we've got. I think we'll just do the road here, just in case. No, No, let's just do this. Because either way... I'll remove the pads if I need to, otherwise we're not going to do much else. There are ruins here, by the way, so we can actually do this. This is a kiln, by the way, so you know what? Do we have enough? We'd have to use stones, and I don't want to do that. So we'll let this beaver finish these planks, but the moment the beaver does, we will focus on rebuilding this kiln, because that... Actually, this is the blueprint for the kiln, right? Am I going crazy here? What's going on? Because we can't move it once... Yeah, it can't be moved once we do it. Is this the blueprint? This is the blueprint, right? I'm not going crazy. Why am I so confused? Anywho, either way we need clay, so shrug. I really don't want to branch out towards this place, but maybe we do because all of this. So what I would do is probably cut the... Oh, we can't even fit it. Actually, out of curiosity, yeah, we can't even fit it. We would have to do something like this. Man, that fertile field... I mean, it's not the farthest walk, but it does make me a little sad. Alternatively, I would like a warehouse, but that's not going to happen either. So, yeah. But yeah, we do want this beaver to basically be the one. We can also disable woodcutter. We should actually disable these woodcutters. And the reason is because we need the bricks now. Now we'll leave one free builder to start making a path over towards this area, but I promise that we will need more. So if I do knock this down, what is the difference here? Isn't this just a blueprint? Well, because I could just spend the stones, but we can't make any stones, so that's why I haven't been doing it. We also need more people and more villagers before we can make use of everything else, so it's not like I immediately need to do something. By the way, why did you do that? Basically, I really want to profit. I want to benefit from the clay production here. That's the end of the sentence. Which I didn't do for some reason. We are able to make at least more bricks, right? No, because we need one more piece of clay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, no one in the woodcutter's camp. That's for there's a reason for that. Yeah, we'll just have you building roads. So as I said, one free builder to start building roads. We do need to watch the hostility. Not because of this event. This event should be complete soon, right? Yeah. And which will help with hostility, but we are dealing with other stuff. And hopefully these newcomers... Yes, usually I accept newcomers in the next year of Drizzle. But you never know. Also, I'm going to check OBS really quick. Okay, we have time. Otherwise, I should make 2 farms, but we got the farm kind of late into Drizzle, which is why we don't really get to benefit here. I feel. So, as we make bricks here... So basically, when these get done, or I might even just make this builder start working on this kiln when we can. This is the blueprint, right? Am I going crazy? Because I would like to put that kiln closer. I guess I'm going to find out. This is for science, I guess. Yeah, for science. I really shouldn't have done that, but it's a bit too late now. And we'll do this. We still want the bricks, so I'll leave it like that, but I think we'll go back to planks. Have at least one beaver working with the planks here, and then we'll rush this so we can get this order done. And away we go. That was, I think, the impatience lowering the hostility. But yeah, other stuff. Yeah, that stag's gonna go away. Not really much I'm gonna be able to do about that. But... So basically we have enough... We have more than what we need for the good next 2 to 3 years at minimum. But we do want to worry about if we need anything else, like services. Otherwise, let's see, primarily grain, which will probably be for, I think packs of crops is what we can use for that for. But we'll see. We don't have anything else at the moment, so no 20 Reaver Resolve. I can cut into 2 more glades. Do I want to is the question. Because it would probably be this glade and this glade. One closest to the hearth and the one closest to the warehouse. Man, I really wish I had the human passive, but we don't have human, so it doesn't really matter anyway, I guess. But yeah, the cookhouse. The cookhouse was the next order of business. So let's try to focus on the cookhouse next. Even though we don't really have much people working on it, we do want to set it up so we can start making essentially skewers right away. That's the statement. We'll put it right here. Yeah, we'll put it right here. And just to be sure, so basically everything, and preferably things that I can make myself. But the meat part of the skewer recipe is the usually less sustainable part, unless you have a ranch, obviously, because the ranch you have meat, leather, and eggs, I think. So essentially, that ranch is an indirect line from a farm to complex food for those complex food. So, if I remember right. But anywho, let's do this. So we get bricks. What next? Technically press, technically do oil stuff. We can also do wine. Can wine take? No, it doesn't take anything that I have. We do want it though, but if we make oil, we shouldn't need it theoretically. Am I going crazy? Especially since we took protected trade. And so I'm trying to think. Make a lot of wood, preferably planks, but we don't have anything for planks, and no plank stuff appeared anyway. We can make a lot of bricks, but I would rather get the oil burning done. And if you don't know what that means, you've seen it before, you've seen me do it before, but you're gonna see it again, essentially. I know you guys are working on the thing. Let's let that beaver finish first. I think I canceled it anyway, but hey. I think the press is more... yeah, the press is more... No, the cookhouse is more important. I can deactivate. I just want the building set up, but... Yeah, we need the planks anyway, and we have the cookhouse. That is a lizard place for comfort, right? Comfort? Yeah, comfort. But we're still working on this anyway. And we have flour now, but it's a temporary stopgap. In fact, you can't prioritize. So in the Alpha 2, for those who don't know, you can move things over and they take what's left most. So even in this, even on this version, they're taking. You can see them taking the leather. We don't need it actually, so we'll set up the cookhouse instead, and then leave a free fox. But yeah, you can move things over to the left to prioritize them. And whatever's on the left is what is taken as priority. Now, eventually we do want to take them, but yeah. It would, the cookhouse is more important, I feel. In fact, I should actually just put the fox in here too. We haven't got enough grain to really make use of it anyway, so... But when the next batch of newcomers come, as long as I continue to have food, which I kind of don't, but even if they go hungry, I think we'll be okay for the moment. But just to be sure, let's see, where else are we doing stuff? Not really anywhere else. So if anything else, I would probably double up here on these vegetable nodes, or the clay here. But yeah, because now I just have 3. Oh, because I did a thing. Does that give me the kiln? It does give me the kiln. So, hey, you know what we're also going to do? Actually, I would like to make coal, but... Well, first we need to move this makeshift post. But, after that... I think we do the kiln. This is quickly becoming a lizard settlement, but... let's see, 14 people, 1 kiln... Bum. And then, yeah, we can't really make use of the press yet. So instead, we'll have this beaver continue working on planks. But I think we'll be okay on... No, we won't, because we will, unfortunately... Not better. But when this kiln gets made, we can start sacrificing coal to lower hostility. I don't remember... I should really look into it if sacrificing 1 stack of wood is better than sacrificing coal. I feel like it is, though, because 10 wood is approximately equal to... Well, 20 coal, never mind. Anywho. You know, all things considered, I could start burning this oil now, because we would like quicker, complex food anyway. And we're gonna get oil. If I could not make oil for myself, I would not have done that. Also, there's this random tree standing here, but we'll deal. What we can do instead, funny enough, is just deactivate and put them here. Actually, do that. Because we want to avoid hostility. Now, the impatience will lower it, but not in time, so we're gonna do this. Just primarily because of its proximity. But hey. And then I should enable skewers here. I forgot that I have enabled that, but hey. And usually I would let every other race that doesn't have a preferred complex food available eat the raw food. But because again, essentially we're going plus here, I think I'm just going to have, when we have like 10 to 20 skewers, we will do a thing. I should actually make use of Rain Punk here, but I have not. I noticed that I have not set up any Rain Punk, basically. So I guess we'll stay with the normal speed. Again, we're burning oil, we're getting a bit of a boost, but essentially, yes, the cookhouse, the kiln, and maybe just a makeshift post. But the press is actually probably going to be the pick here. So, yeah. Now, my next question is if our resolve hits 0. Foxes, probably. Foxes, probably. But we'll take another look. So, yeah, we'll do a switcheroo here. Otherwise, we probably would have lost this fox or someone else. So, yeah, how would I have solved that issue? Actually, we would have... If I made skewers earlier, we would be okay. In fact, yeah, this delivery is in progress. But it was a little late. Also, we were going hungry. I didn't even realize, but okay. Yeah, otherwise we were okay for the moment. But in the meanwhile, so now we have coal. Let's start burning that instead of wood. I'll still leave wood open, but preferably we just want to keep burning wood. And away we go. Taking a quick look, by the way, I think... Yeah, let's accept these orders. Oh, they really want me to cut... They really want me to cut into glades, but if I'm lowering hostility, it's not so bad. And then, yeah, we will be using rainwater. 4 buildings. We're more likely going to use 180. That's going to take a bit, but I think it's fine. I do want to look into the housing situation in a moment, especially since I can start making beaver houses with all the planks that I can be making. But until that moment, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I should be making use of the rest of the fertile soil I have around everywhere. But for the moment, actually, I should have done that. I realized my mistake. We don't actually need all of this clay. So what we're going to do is disable this for the moment. We'll have them deliver the goods, but now we don't get double yields or chances at double yields. But that, again, that's fine for the moment. So we will prep this field next, this farm, because this should give us enough to sustain in the oil burning, sacrificing strat. I don't know what else to call it at the moment. Could also be making more skewers faster, but hey. Now, this does mean we'll need more meats as the settlement goes on. But as we enter Drizzle here and pause... So we'll take a quick look, but I think this will be starting the end of the video. So, as the end of the video... Yeah, this is interesting. Ancient tablet. Well, here's the ancient tablet that I could have gotten. I think we had an order for it, but meh. Pickled goods, we do have vegetables. We would need a thing after, but the problem is that I still want to look towards services regardless. So I think I'll just end up taking a lot of villagers because, again, we can make use of this fertile soil over here too. We're not going to be able to make use of all of it, but whatever we can make use of, we'll make use of. And then we have flour here for the cookhouse, just in the back of our mines. But we don't really have anything. If we had planted, or if I took the root or the herb garden, we would have been able to make more biscuits. But we can make flour, so that's I guess a consolation prize. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say. Cut into 5 glades, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around here. But if I want space, I'd probably cut this glade. But yeah, not really much else to say. I'll think about it, or try to think about it. I usually don't, because I have to review anyway. But we should be at the end screen now. If you have anything to say, as always, you know what to do. If you comment, ask questions, try to give me advice, I will usually look into the comment section. I don't know if I'll always be able to reply, but I'll do my best, because, well, yeah, I feel it's only, what's the word? Not formal, but anywho, it's nice to do. I'm losing the words, but yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.